go. This time it's going to be a trio run of ED3. It is very different compared to the solo run that I've already done. The solo guide is obviously where you're going to be learning the most about how the dungeon in general works. Trio kills are really quick, and you don't get to experience all the mechanics the same way you would if it was a solo or a duo, but it's still really fun to do. And it seems that more people are interested in group running this dungeon, probably because it's a little bit more difficult to solo. But yeah, gear-wise, pretty much the same thing. I have a mobile switch now, which I don't bother with on solos most of the time. I also replaced some of my food with blubberfish. Combination of blubberfish and Ceradomin brews is really convenient. If you want to be using blubberfish and Guthix Rest, you can do that too. That will obviously be more beneficial for some personal record attempts. This is just casual fun shit. I'm not using a Vamp Scrim this time. I'm using a Grimoire because that's what if you have one, what you should be doing in this dungeon. The Vamp Scrim on the tutorial run was mostly to make it easier for people that are still learning. Mob-wise, this is just a big crit fest. Like all you do is you move into the center of where you're supposed to be and do whatever AoEs you have, like all the other dungeons. ED2 being slightly different, I guess. But almost everything here is high quantity and low life point targets. So what you want to be doing mostly is just your Hurricane, your Quake, Cleave, and your Meteor Strike. As soon as you clear this barrier, normally one person goes to the first area of zombies and Meteor Strikes, like he did there. And one person goes to the second area of zombies and Meteor Strikes them, like he did now. One thing you can do if you want to optimize this bit, you can do a Dragon Battle Axe spec during these zombies. It will still last for the initial 20 seconds of the Crassian Leviathan, which is just a massive DPS dummy that you start with a Berserk rotation. So everyone Circ, Barge, bleed your Assault, step to the side and do a Destroy. You can also use the Scythe like I'm doing now, kind of up to you. This is a really quick boss, so all that really matters here is just burst DPS and getting the actual Circ rot off decently. That was 18 seconds. You really don't have to worry about a whole lot. If everyone does it well, he's gonna die before he does the first sweep anyway. These zombies are a little bit annoying because they're really spread out. You can do a Meteor Strike in the middle of all of this if you end up happening to have them reasonably close. I did one there and it was crap because it only hit like 2. But otherwise, same as everything else. Just Meteor Strike if you have it, Hurricane, Quake, Cleave. Scythe is extremely useful in this dungeon because you need to be able to reach a bunch of different monsters at the same time to be able to clear them quicker. So if you have one of those, bring it. Bleed one of these guys, carry on through the next of the room, kill the 3 by the barrier. When you're doing this, one person goes to either side, obviously, to do them at the same time. It doesn't matter for the sake of doing them at the same time specifically, it just kind of happens that way. As soon as they're both done, somebody runs out of the bridge. Let's run after, pray range, do your devotion, same way you do with everything else. Run into this pile, to the Sea Horrors and the Necromancer. Same thing as before. Play the dive surge. Let's go past those mages. The last guy there screwed that up. So you can see on the minimap that the mages are piling up after us, but it's not going to really matter. It does matter if you want to stay and do a dummy thing here and like charge up a Natural Instinct and a Dragon Battle Axe for a PR attempt, but now we'll just be going straight in. Put on whichever armor piece you have Undead Slayer on, get your salve ammo. Yeah. Berserk rotation. Do as much damage as you can. When he starts flying, you can block him this way if you want to. Time-wise, I don't think it changes anything really. See here that we're doing the Dragon Battle Axe spec while we're waiting for the minion to reach him. The only reason for that is because we want that DPS boost for the rest of the fight. As soon as you clear them down below 200k, he's going to go over to the other minion. That's when you need to start getting ready to finish the fight. There's two ways to do it. Either you can do 2 flurries and get a double circ rotation off, or if it's really quick, you can just do 1 flurry in the initial start and then do Dragon Battle Axe like we did and then a CGS. This was for a trio kill with 3 melees, slightly slower than normal. I probably could have gotten away with doing the double berserk rotation there, but I did the CGS instead. This area here you can deal with many different ways. You can media strike this, is a pretty good opportunity for it because there's a lot of stuff being stacked up. Otherwise just a normal thresh rotation with AoEs. I messed that up and aggro the boss. You kind of not supposed to. You want to be running alongside that western wall to make sure the boss doesn't see you, but in this case we're also not going to be starting with a dummy build-up before we go into the fight, so it kind of doesn't make a huge difference. Just kill everything, reload your preset, run in for Ambassador. Same thing as in every other group constellation or solo, start with a disruption shield because of the initial mage hit. Berserk rotation, barge, throw a Vuln bomb, and then use a limitless sigil for your rot instead of doing the adren pot. The reason for that is because with 3 of you, adrenaline is not going to be that crucial for the initial phase, and you also really want to be saving that adren pot for the last bit, which is a bigger chunk of HP. Place the smoke somewhere out of mind. Target cycle barge. Bleed the fragment. Smoke placement there was not perfect on my half. Guy ended up almost dying from it. As soon as the second fragment is dead, make sure you have 100% adren so you can put your Dragon Battle Axe on and do a special on the third one. The reason for that is because you're going to want to deal as much DPS as you can when the spin phase is over. So the DBA kind of helps. Kill the remaining fragments. Doesn't make a ton of difference if you kill the last one or not. Generally in trios you should be able to. So it's more a convenience thing. And this is when you want to have your adren pot ready. So after the spin, do another Vuln Bomb and then a full Berserk rotation. Throw out your CGS. That's pretty much the end of the fight. So that was 158. That's decent. It's not perfect. I think the quickest trio run that I have gotten, or a trio fight of Ambassador, was 150. Now I'm going to do another one. Just to revisit everything once more. I realized that it's sort of a lot to take in when you're just watching a full run once that way. It also tends to be slightly different here and there, like some stuff can change timing wise. That's why I figured I'd just do 2 full runs instead of 1 for this video. So the only difference here so far is that I didn't use the DBA spec. I didn't bother doing that on the zombies. Otherwise everything is basically the same. You can see his adrenaline is not 100%, hence the dummy. Circ rotation, just as before. Circ A-pot barge, run up, bleed your assault, stand on the side, avoid the breath thing. You can move back in for destroy if you want to do it that way instead. And then as soon as you reach 50% again, do your flurry. Or don't. That was 24 seconds, a little bit worse than last time. 18 is pretty good though. That's when everything works out decently. So Circ, Adrenpot. Bleed your assault, switch to your duels, do a destroy. Flurry if you want. This case is a little bit different because we dropped the boss below 100k. The effect of that is that he's not going to be stopping in between the minions. He will do one minion and then he will go to the other one. Dragon Battle Axe. Now, since he's past 200k, that phase doesn't really happen. You hit him like once, and he tags into the next one. Drop your CGS, step off the boss, barge back in, bleed your assault, destroy, Undead Slayer Sigil if you have it. That was 57 seconds, that's a little bit better than the previous one. If you want to standardize most of the DPS burst that you're using in this dungeon or in all the dungeons in trio mode, you can pretty much just rely on placing your ultimates, your Zara's God Sword spec, your assault, your destroy, and your flurry. If you get all that, then everything else is pretty much a cakewalk. Those are going to be like the bulk of DPS that you're dealing to everything, and generally getting the timing correctly on all of those different things makes it really quick, so you don't have to worry about doing a lot of other stuff. Disruption bench. Wait by the barrier, don't run in. And then same as before. Berserk rotation, barge, Vuln bomb. Bleed your assault with a limitless sigil. Switch to your dual wheels. Use a destroy. As soon as the boss faces, somebody places the smoke somewhere. My Titan just died there, that was suboptimal. Target cycle barge and bleed flurry or bleed whatever, really. Just some kind of damage over time. Third fragment, DBA. And now for the full rotation with a Berserk and a Drampot. As soon as the Cirque is up, start your CGS. Get back into your thresholds, your destroys, assaults, and flurries. And boss done. So the last phase doesn't really start. You don't have to deal with that.